All right. Welcome back to another episode of Light Skin Pod. I think we're on 35, and keep climbing. So today we are here with a good friend of mine who I haven't seen in a while, Nicole Johnson. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah. So I already introduced you, but do you want to kind of introduce yourself one more time?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So Nicole Johnson, I am the vice president at ALLETE and president of one of its subsidiaries called ALLETE Clean Energy.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for being here with us, fresh off of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Everybody's still tired. I'm still full. I haven't really eaten that much.
Leftovers?
Nah, not even then. Yeah. I just been chilling.
Yeah.
For us, it's always the same food. Well, let's just say for black people. Mm-hmm. I know what I'm expecting when I go into a black household for Thanksgiving. Mac and cheese, baked mac and cheese, which is, and I judge everybody's food. So I told people, don't invite me over unless you're ready. But yeah, baked mac and cheese, ham. We make a turkey, but we don't eat turkey. Got to do stuffing. Got to do candied yams, cornbread, and Kool-Aid.
He loves dried turkey.
Yeah,
dry ham.
Dry?
No, not
really?
Not at all. I hate turkey. Yeah, don't listen to me. I hate turkey with a passion. But anyway, we started off like we always do. Tell us about baby Nikki. Where you from, born, growing up, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, sure. So I was born and raised in Ashland, Wisconsin.
Okay,
which is just an hour and 15 minutes east of Duluth, right on Lake Superior.
Yep.
I am the youngest of 5 kids in my family. My parents still live in Ashland.
Wow, okay. Awesome. Now, are your parents originally from there as well?
They're actually one. My mother is from Wakefield, Michigan.
Okay.
My dad's from Hurley, Wisconsin. So just on the border of the UP there. And then they moved to Ashland like a year before I was born.
Cool.
So I lived in Ashland the whole time until I moved to Duluth to go to college.
All right. What was it like growing up in Ashland? Because it's not that big, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, it's 8,500 people.
Yeah.
So small town, one high school.
Yeah.
You pretty much knew everybody from the start of elementary school. So it was a good place to, grow up.
Yeah.
And still nice to go visit my parents, but I definitely knew that I wanted to go to the big city of Duluth. Duluth was the big city.
Yeah, we go to I only go like once a year with Joe because we coach football.
Oh,
so yeah. So we had played, and it just depends on what year it is because you rotate. So did we go to Ashland this year?
No, not this year. They came to us, but usually.
Year before.
Oh wait, no, we did go to Ashland.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that. It was my brother's wedding.
Yeah,
but yeah, so all I really know is the football field. I don't know nothing.
And it's really, honestly, my favorite away game.
Oh,
I love going out to Ashland.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a nice drive.
Yeah,
it is a beautiful drive.
Yeah. And I go out towards that way because I'm in the Baggerman too.
Oh, nice.
So so instead of going right on the split, we go left.
Yeah.
But all right, so what was it like growing up with being the youngest of 5?
Yeah.
All right, what was that like?
So it's crazy because my oldest sibling is 7 years older. So we had 5 kids in 7 years.
Yeah,
so we were all
knocking them down.
Super close.
Yeah.
And it was great. We were all very close. Like I said, I have 2 sisters, 2 brothers. So it was a great mix of sisters and brothers. And to this day, we're all very close. And it's really fun because get-togethers, like everybody in the family is about the same age. Grandkids, cousins.
Yep. Are
Are
they all local still-ish or?
My parents are the only ones that live in Ashland.
Okay.
My oldest sister actually lives in Duluth, just like a block and a half up the street from me, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I've got a brother in Minocqua, Wisconsin, and a brother in Eau Claire, and then my sister that's just older than me, she's actually in Connecticut. So everybody else is close, but we had one.
Yeah. I really got to go.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're hoping that she comes back.
For sure, yeah. And see, I'm from the East Coast, from New Jersey.
Oh, really?
So yeah, this is a long ways, but I'll tell you what, I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
I'll never go back to the East Coast. Plus, I love the distance. I mean, I love my family, but just to be away, from family drama, call me, And if I don't answer, maybe call again. If I don't answer, then don't call again. I'll call you when I got time. So, have y'all traveled to Duluth a lot when you were young? Did y'all do a lot of traveling as a family at all? Or?
Duluth was the place where we would go frequently.
Mm-hmm.
That was the place with the mall.
Yeah.
We would go shopping here.
Yep.
My first concert was at the Deck.
Who was it?
Seventh grade. Poison.
Poison, okay. Mm-hmm.
Poison.
I think I even know a Poison song.
Oh, you look it up after this
I will.
podcast.
Definitely will.
Yeah, it was. But Duluth was the big city, so we came here quite often.
Mm-hmm. So when you graduated, did you consider anywhere else, or was Duluth was just that spot?
I applied to one college, and it was UMD.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
I knew I wanted to come to Duluth.
Cool. What did you study at? Well, let's say this.
Yeah.
I know you spent some time here, but what was it like now going from 8,500 to, 80,000?
Yeah. Well, it helps when you go to college because then it's like if you think UMD is about 8,000, 10,000, whatever students. So it was kind of like the same as your hometown and having, I lived on campus, which is super awesome because that's where you get to meet people right away.
Yep.
So the transition was actually pretty easy, and even right now, my husband is born and raised in Duluth, so he knows everybody.
Yeah,
Duluth is a big small town.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that big of an adjustment, both going from UMD and then when I started work, I went to Minnesota Power.
Okay.
And
right down to college.
Yeah, sorry.
So what did you study at UMD?
I actually studied. I graduated with an accounting degree.
Okay.
But I started in HR at Minnesota Power.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
HR.
So I started as an intern there.
Yeah. Okay. That's wild.
Yeah.
So there was So originally, and I talked about this before, originally I wanted to go to school to become an anesthesiologist.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but with sports and I said, nah, there's no way I'm doing this. The money just looked good.
Oh, yeah, it looked good.
But then you start getting into some of those classes and it's like, you get those medical sheets or the medicine sheets. I can't read half of them. I said, I can't. I got to learn 100 plays and you want me to learn 1,000 medicines that all sound the same?
Oh, my gosh.
Then you got to know the side effects. I ain't got time.
Yeah.
So there was one point, and this was a real short part of me, where I was like, oh, what if I did HR? I would get in trouble myself. There's no way in hell I can do HR. I know me. I am terrible. So, yeah.
I always say I didn't think I was going into HR either. It just kind of worked out that way. But I can appreciate what you said about, going for anesthesiology. I actually, when I started at UMD, I thought I wanted to be a chemical engineer because I loved chemistry in high school. And my teacher at the time was fantastic. And it took me one semester. I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I can't see. I can't stand it. But I always liked math. So that's why I transferred to business school and tried to find something with something related.
So tell me, all right, so because now I'm interested. So you interned at Minnesota Power. Did you intern as an accountant or in the HR?
I started doing accounting for benefit plans, which was in HR, and so that's how I started in HR. So it was an HR intern.
Got it. Okay. And then how long was it just one summer or something or full year?
It was a full year, and fortunately for me, as I was about to graduate, I was in my senior year, somebody on the team was retiring, so they posted a job, perfectly timing. I then applied for a job, and it was right in the area that I was interning, so it was meant to be.
Heck yeah. No,
28 years later.
Right, still locked in.
I'm still in the broad company. So, yeah, it worked out.
So, all right, I'll back up a little bit. When did you meet Kyle?
Ooh.
We going back. This is her husband.
This is going back. So I met him December 13th of 1997.
Okay.
So I was
6.
still... Oh,
sorry.
Yeah. So you're young. So yeah, I met him when I was interning at Minnesota Power.
Okay.
Just graduated.
Was he at Minnesota Power too or no?
No, he was at Iconics, Chromaline, I think it was at the time. And he was a research chemist there for 15 years before he became a financial planner. But yeah, he's a few years older than me, so we always kind of laugh that
I would have never.
Glad we met.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. He's great. He's one of my favorite people.
Awesome.
He called me for my birthday. That was my favorite. Oh, yeah, that's like one of my favorite calls. I was so happy. I looked at my phone and said, Kyle calling? Did I do something? Because I think I still got my retirement with him.
Nice.
So I thought he was calling about that. And he was like, oh, happy birthday. I said,
she was amazing. He's the most thoughtful person. Like, he's the one to call or text my parents or any of my siblings way before me.
Yeah.
Like, he's just Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's sending notes and whatever.
That's wild.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, thanks, Kyle. We appreciate you. But that's wild he was a research chemist. I'll tell you right now, I don't think I ever would have put that together with... Yeah. Now we got to have him on the podcast.
You 100% should have. Yeah. That is a story in itself.
Yeah, we exactly. Get him on. Yeah. So, we're back up again. So, tell me about, like, your ride through Minnesota Power. Just climbing up through the ranks there.
Yeah, so, like I said, I started as an intern 28 years ago. And, there's so many awesome things about that company is that they invest in the people. It's super supportive culture. They give back to the community. So... they always provide opportunities for people to grow and develop, so recognizing I had no HR background other than like a couple of courses at UMD. So I got certifications, but, so I did learn the HR side of it. But, what I got exposed to was a lot of project teams, and throughout the company's long history is that we've had other companies, we've had, diversification efforts. So I always got involved in new companies that we were starting or acquiring or anything like that. And so I had that experience throughout my career. And as HR, you kind of get involved in that as you're transitioning, bringing people on or moving them around. And so actually, when the company was deciding to create a new company, which was later going to be called ALLETE Clean Energy, they had just a handful of people that they wanted to get this company off the ground, and I was one of them to do that. And so I supported it for about 5 years, and I was supporting other different companies within the broader ALLETE family. And then after 12 years, they asked me to be president for the company of this one that I started 12 years before with a small group of people. So,
that's awesome.
Pretty cool.
So for people who don't know, and this is part of a good question for me too, because I'm not super familiar with ALLETE, but what does that section of Minnesota Power do?
Yeah, so ALLETE, when we talk about ALLETE, it's we call it and refer to it as like the parent company. It has like 5 different business units in it.
Okay.
Minnesota Power is the biggest of the business units. It's
Got it. Okay.
80% of the company. It's kind of where the company started. And then we've had, I call them, sister, brother companies that go with it. So another different company is Superior Water, Light, and Power, which is provides electric, gas, and water to the people of Superior Water, Light, and Power. We have a company out in North Dakota, which is a coal mine. We have a new solar developer company that's based in Annapolis, Maryland, that has a nationwide footprint. And then the company I lead, which is currently a wind company with the operations in 7 states. And we develop, own, and operate large wind farms.
Oh, that's crazy. And they build the windmills in Duluth.
They bring them through. A lot of times you see the blades and the different equipments come through the harbor on.
They come over on the ships then.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I always wondered that too. Cause I was like, where in the hell are they building these at? I just always see them lined up. In that lot down there.
Yeah, and those are not just for us. It's the port helps transport anything for building. In central Midwest or whatever.
Okay. How far does the reach of ALLETE go for like some of those windmills? Where do you start seeing them? Because I don't really see them around here.
There's a small, Minnesota Power has a small wind farm just right up on the U.S. Steel property, actually, right up on the range. Okay. Otherwise, Minnesota Power's wind is in North Dakota, and we bring the energy back on a high voltage line. Otherwise, ALLETE Clean Energies, we have a wind farm in southern Minnesota, Iowa, Pennsylvania, Oregon, Oklahoma, Montana, and North Dakota.
Okay.
And maybe you don't know this question, but The loss of power from North Dakota to here, I mean, there's got to be a lot, right?
There's a loss. Anytime it transports over the lines, they do factor in how much is the line loss, but the energy and the wind is so much better there that it's still better to build it there and transport it than to build it where the wind or the topography isn't as
Is it like 20% loss? Or?
You know, I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
It all varies.
Not that it really matters.
It all varies based on the length and so.
I'm gonna ask some dumb questions because I don't do this kind of stuff. All right, you talk about transporting the energy. Is it just transported through? Because obviously you ain't picking energy up and put it on a truck. You know, that sounds crazy, but I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask for everybody else out there that don't know as much again. Because sorry, Albert Einstein over here, Stephen Hawkins. But so how is it all just transported through like cables?
So generally there's the source of the energy. So it's either, let's say, a gas turbine or a wind turbine or a solar farm. That's where it's generated, and then you transmit it on large transmission lines. So if you go down to the cities and you see the really big transmission lines with the cable, the wire coming through, that's what we and that's where it takes where it's generated to send it large distances on the big lines. And then it steps down at a substation, and then it goes out on what we call distribution lines. So distribution lines are the ones that generally are behind your house, right? And then they hook up to your house, and that's how the power actually goes. But it gets transported on wires.
Okay.
So from the generation of where it's created to the fact that it gets a multitude of step downs to actually be able for you to use it. It's quite amazing how it actually gets to where you flip a switch and
So here's a odd specific question, but the big transmission lines coming down Midway Road, do you know of those ones? Where are those coming from? I always kind of wondered. Down Midway Road, and then they cut right across Morgan Park area. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
We don't know.
I'm gonna say that's a different guess. I can give you somebody who specializes in Minnesota Power's transmission line.
She only knows the basics.
You can do that.
We only put the basics. She's not chemistry anymore.
Yeah, I'm not that part. No, I'm gonna plead the fifth. I'm not real sure. I'm gonna say I'm from Wisconsin, so I don't really know where the.
They definitely don't know.
Don't know.
They have no idea.
But they're all connected, which is amazing.
Yeah,
they're all connected at some sport.
That it's wild. Like, trust me, I got a lot of questions, but I know I'm not even going to ask you because one I do have. Maybe you do know. You can say no, but so say you got one windmill. How big of an area or how much can one windmill power 1,000 houses?
It all depends on the size of the windmill. It all depends.
Okay.
They range from small to quite large. So
I suppose it depends on how far you got to transmit it too.
Yeah. This is all fascinating.
Yeah, it's something.
I want to do a tour of Minnesota Power.
Oh, we can make that happen.
Let's do that. Just want to see the power.
Yeah.
Get transported.
Yeah.
One of the best tours is here at Thompson Hydro.
Okay.
That's an amazing tour.
Yeah. Okay.
Hydropower. That's where Minnesota Power got started. Is from hydroelectricity. So
this would be good to bring the kids, some of our teenagers.
We do a ton with outreach with kids in classrooms. So
okay.
I think that's fantastic. Let me know.
I definitely got you.
I will. I'll get it. I'll get you set up.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Yeah. Well, now I'm gonna backtrack again. Did you when you got into Minnesota Power, just kind of going through your time there, did you ever think I'm always be here, or did you?
No. But this is what I tell people. As long as and this is what I love about that company, is it provides you to have multiple careers and not actually leave the company. Yeah. So we strongly encourage and provide opportunities where people can go from one company to another company, or go from HR to, let's say, leading customer service, or in our distribution group. Mm. it's you're not limited into the area in which you get hired into. And so that's what I think is most fascinating, and that's what I think is one of the secrets to why we have such longevity there, is that we provide opportunities for people to have new experiences and never actually have to leave.
And we kind of heard that from one
Eric,
of our... Yeah.
Eric Forsman, he said the same thing.
Yeah, so I was told you were responsible for one of Elite's most questionable hires.
Well, I have to
Eric
say,
Forsman.
I did hire Eric, and I'm so glad. He is, to this day, I would say, probably the most impressive person I've ever interviewed in my entire career.
Yeah.
And I have done a ton of interviews.
Yeah, when we told him that you were going to be on, he's like, "Oh, I love her, and you should bring up the fact that she hired me."
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
What was impressive about him?
He did his research. This was an entry-level job. Entry-level job in the benefits side. He did his research. He looked up stuff on our filings. He looked up stuff on the company. Like, he wanted it. He was all over, like, not just superficial, like, I checked out your website for like 5 minutes. He was in all of our SEC filings. He did his research. And he's obviously a great communicator. He's, great personality. So anybody who's going to invest that amount of time.
Yeah. You won.
I won.
Good job, Eric.
Yeah, good job, Eric.
Proud of you, bud.
Super happy to have you. Yeah.
So, think about in the future, are there any other like clean energy initiatives that ALLETE is looking to get into? In the future here? Yeah,
so we're continuing to look. So across our family of companies, we're really talk about all of the above energy, because it's gonna all be needed because they serve different needs.
Yeah.
And so I'd say obviously we have wind, solar, hydro, biomass, including some fossil-based energy. So we're continuing to look at what is provide us the best energy in the cleanest form that's affordable and reliable. And so it's always it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
And so obviously always looking to see what new things are coming.
Yeah.
So they're definitely continue to look.
How about nuclear?
So
that sounds scary.
There's a lot of discussion about nuclear right now. There's actually in the state of Minnesota, there's actually that you can't build nuclear. So that's one of the things that people are asking is, should that ban be lifted or not? And maybe it's not the nuclear of old, but maybe it's small modular nuclear. But again, if we're trying to meet carbon-free goals, we're going to need something to provide reliable power when the wind's not blowing and the sun's not shining.
For sure.
And so that's why people are asking the question.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like nuclear is the cleanest option, right?
It doesn't, from a carbon perspective, I think the thing that from a nuclear, why people are sometimes hesitant is the spent energy and what happens there, and how do you dispose of it responsibly.
Elon Musk.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
To the moon. I would be afraid. This is just not knowing enough about it. I hear a lot of places talk about it, or in the East Coast we have a big nuclear generator in Delaware, and if I remember, they had it almost melted down one day, and we were young, but I remember they shut everything down. I'm talking about, we couldn't go to school. You had to stay in the house. I'm thinking, what is in the house going to do? This thing blow up, we done. I'd rather see it coming. I just want to be playing the game, and all of a sudden we're out of here. But it was a week ordeal or so. Yeah. And I remember all of us, and my mom, we all went to church when we was young, so you get Jesus coming. It's we'll be fine. I think we'll be okay. And we young, so we just so fascinated with how everybody else is moving, and in disarray. But and that was years, probably 20 something years ago. So, nuclear probably came a long way since then. And then I don't want to speak on this too much because I don't know enough about it. But there's these small communities in upstate New York that I've heard about, and we actually driven through some. This was a long time ago, so probably like 10 or 15 years ago, that powers houses by quartz. Have you ever heard of that?
Right. Cool.
Quartz. Like quartz stones. No, listen, this is it. You know, it sounds crazy. I saw your face. It sounds crazy. But I'm going to find this, I got to send it to you.
Maybe we should take a road trip.
We should.
Check that out.
Yeah, that's going to be a wild road trip. Yeah. Stop at all the breweries. But I'm going to find it. I'm going to send you the article. Because I remember when I was like just getting out of high school, we went up there. And one of my buddies was telling us about it. And then I forgot about it a while, but not too long ago, I looked it up again. I was like, oh, they really, and I don't know the science behind it either, but they do. They got these freaking quartz crystals and they power their houses off of it. And I'm thinking, the heck is this? You know, but some people say it's a conspiracy or whatever, but it's kind of cool.
Well,
I'll find it.
I can't wait to read all about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
So how big is coal mining out in North Dakota?
It's pretty big.
Okay, because I didn't even realize they had that much out there. You always hear about it on the East Coast and stuff, but
Coal mining is a part of what Minnesota Power does?
Not Minnesota Power.
ALLETE?
Sister company of it. Yeah,
Okay.
B&I. They provide it to customer Minn Kota Power.
It's big. That's a lot. I would love to learn more about, and I will as I keep getting through. Just learn about all of the subsidiaries of, ALLETE Energy. How, just more about just the science of it all and how power flows and, I think it's super cool. I love watching little small documentaries on things. I was just watching this one where I want to say it's on California, somewhere in California, but on the side of this like hill or mountain, they put they're like flat, and there's three or four of them, but they're wave powered. So when waves they lift up and they drop down, and it was super cool. But they generate a lot of power for like all of the towns along the coast. Yeah, right. It looks so simple. Yeah, I'm like, dang, why don't do it? Especially on Lake Superior, I feel like, but people don't want to mess up Lake Superior by putting big old ugly things there. They don't play that out here.
They don't.
They've been
What's amazing too, like just the reliability of Minnesota Power.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, like you hear stories all the time, people saying, "Oh, my power's out, my power's out," and you talk about how vast like the network is and the transfer lines. I mean, very seldom, and if we do have a power outage, it's during a storm or something. But it's relatively quick. It's back up, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they do a phenomenal job keeping the lights on for sure. That whole team is remarkable.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So, how much longer do you think you'll be in the field before you're ready to say, throw in your ALLETE badge and say, I'm retired now?
Well, I am now in a decade that I feel like it's in my sights. Yeah. I had a milestone birthday a couple months ago, so
Happy late birthday.
It is. I can say that it's now at least appearing on the horizon.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
I got 10 years maybe.
Okay.
It'll be a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And
Kyle not so much.
Yeah, Kyle's locked in. You ain't going to work,
Kyle.
Kyle.
Not so much, but he'll be long retired. And I'll be working for a long time.
So I'll backtrack a little bit now. Is there new clean energy projects in the horizon? I think we got kind of sidetracked with all the things we were talking about. And if you answered it, we'll just cut this part out. But did you answer that?
Oh, so we're on all of our companies, we are looking at advancing clean energy projects. So if you're saying, do we have more projects? The answer is yes. Right now, they'll pretty much be traditionally wind projects, solar projects, potentially, some other
quartz crystals.
I'm gonna go back to work and I'm gonna like, hey all.
We got something.
So there's a lot of those kind of projects certainly in the mix, and then they're always looking at, the question is the technology there, but then is it affordable, and is it reliable, and is it what kind of attributes does it have? So they're always looking at new technologies for sure. But there'll definitely be more wind and solar and that kind of tradition. Well, I'll say more mainstream, but they're always looking at other things for sure. Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should be a spokesman.
You should.
We talk. I got you. Mm-hmm. I'll look up some stuff out.
You like to, yeah.
ALLETE's quartz division.
Yeah. I love that.
A dog. I got it. You want quartz? Go see Pez. The cut. I got it. I'll practice. We'll work on it. Mm-hmm. I'll ask you something we ask everybody as we start to wrap up. But if you could go back and say something to your younger self, what would it be?
Don't be afraid to take chances earlier.
Mm-hmm. Well, why did you say earlier? Mm-hmm. Well, what makes you say that? That's interesting.
Well, I'd say so. I of my 28 years, about 25 of them was really within a function of HR of higher levels, and then it was in the last 5 years. Before this job, I was chief administrative officer, and then in addition to HR, I had our IT and our environmental and land management. And then and so that wasn't that much of a stretch. They're all corporate shared services, which a shared service at a high level has many similar attributes. But it was really when I went to ALLETE Clean Energy to lead a company that, I'd never built a wind farm. I never operated a wind farm. Like, what the heck do I know about running a company like that? But you really leverage what your strengths are. Yeah. And so people, talent, forming good teams, making sure that you can get the most out of your teams and help them make their jobs better. That's what it's really about. But yeah, was it a little, like, holy cow, all the things I knew, it's like a whole new territory. So it was a learning curve, and it still is
for sure.
To this day.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And then I tell a lot of the young people the same thing. It's like, take chances. Obviously, don't go into something that you know for a fact you're not educated enough on or know enough about. Well, sometimes it's hard to take that chance too, but you just really got to know. But there's so many opportunities that are just unspoken for or unclaimed that some people just look at it and say, oh, I can't do that, or I ain't got the experience. Or, you could look at it and say, I've never done this, so I'm not about to do it, Yeah. But now look at it. Yeah. We got quartz coming. We're about to break the market right now. I'm so excited we had this conversation.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, this is great.
I agree. And I totally agree with you. Is, I always tell people, like, raise your hand. And that is the one thing I did my whole career, is like, new project, new opportunity. I wanted to get exposed to as many things as I possibly could. And so let people know you don't have to check off all the boxes to get a shot. Just raise your hand. Work hard. Be a good teammate. Yeah.
Then before we go, look at this jacket. This is the toughest jacket we've had on the show by far.
That's super awesome.
The best. You don't ride motorcycles, do you?
I do not. Oh. I grew up riding my brother's motorcycles. Okay. Me and my sister used to take it when my brothers were not around. So have I ridden motorcycles? Yes. But well, thank you.
Yeah,
if we take nothing else from this podcast,
gotta let them know.
Got a good jacket.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, thanks for being on with us. I appreciate it, and it was good to see you again. And also to circle back, thanks for because you through ALLETE donated some money to NYS. Yeah. That was awesome. We actually got a Chromebook with that for the kids. Then the girls picked out this full nail set with the thing you can put your nails under. They use that thing every day. It drives me crazy. Because some days they don't clean it up. Aww. I say, look, y'all, if y'all clean this up, first of all, you're going to break it. You get the polish over it, so we make sure it's clean. And then we got a new set of clippers for when we cut hair. Because it's so expensive to get your hair cut now. So I think I cut like 10 heads a week.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so thank you.
Well, hey, I'm so glad that it's being used. And anything we can do to help support you and that awesome organization,
definitely.
You let us know.
Oh, we appreciate it. Yeah. And thank y'all for joining us. And like always, like and subscribe and share. And we'll see you next time on Light Skin.